Hey, so I was away for last week and I did post a few announcements on Discord and on the channel about how I was going to be away, but I didn't really talk too much about what was going on. So I thought I'd just make a video that may be quick, maybe really long, I don't know, sort of going over what happened there and sort of how it'll impact the next couple of weeks on the channel, and I guess some broader points about the channel moving forward. Uh, I don't really have a script for this. There's a few things I want to talk about, and I'm just gonna say whatever I say, and hopefully I don't forget anything. But yeah, so I've talked about on the channel before how in 2015 my mom was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, and after going through treatment for about a year for that, it had actually progressed to stage 4, so it had spread to her lungs and bones. And at that point, it's basically terminal. So she did go through chemotherapy, which was it's usually when you're stage 4, that's more of a quality of life thing to, or an extension of life thing, to just sort of like stop progression as much as you can for as long as possible. But at the end of September or early October, her doctors had said that while there were a few things that they still wanted to try, it was unlikely that any further treatment was going to be effective for her. So she was deciding whether she would continue because when you're in that position, the chemo it's never fun. So definitely sympathy for anyone who is going through that. I know there are a few people who on the channel, their families are also going through that, or they themselves are. But it's not a fun process. It's not a fun thing to go through at all. Uh, but yeah, so she was deciding whether she was going to go along with that, and that's when I booked my trip down. So I think I booked my ticket for Monday the 15th. But the Wednesday I think before that, my mom went to the hospital. She was having trouble breathing, and she started rapidly declining. So I got my ticket moved up to the Saturday, and that's why last week, like I was basically just planning to go down and visit my family. So I was trying to get the usual videos posted and scheduled and everything, so they'd still be going up. But then I moved up my ticket, and that's why some of that stuff was a bit shorter than usual, or why there were fewer videos. But yeah, so I got down on the Saturday. She was still relatively aware at that point, like she was on like painkillers and everything, but we were still able to talk to her a bit. And then on the Saturday afternoon, or the Sunday afternoon rather, so the next afternoon, next day, whatever, uh, she died. So I was down in Niagara for about a week trying to go through, like, there's just so much paperwork that you have to do when people die. It was ridiculous. But yeah, so that's where I was. It was you're never really prepared for that, but she had always tried to make sure like everyone around was aware and accepting of what was going on. Her big thing was that she wanted to have as much fun as possible for the last 2 years of her life. So she really, I guess she did a really good job preparing us for the fact that that was going to happen. But yeah, so that's where I was. That's what I was getting ready. Uh, and in November, so around the 7th to the 13th, I'm going to be gone again. She wanted, rather than a traditional funeral, she wanted to do like a party. So we rented out a venue at a winery that she really liked, and we're going to just basically have a cash bar there. So that's where I'm going to be for about a week, which is why I haven't really put up a regular streaming schedule for the next few weeks. Uh, while I'm still in Ottawa, I'm going to be doing probably just a few streams whenever I feel like it, and then when I'm back after the 13th, hopefully everything will start getting back to normal. But part of why I'm making this video uh, is because I do want to thank everyone for their support on the channel, and otherwise I've gotten a lot of great messages from people when I did put those other videos up. So a lot of great support from that. But also, part of why I started doing this as my full-time job was because it was a job that allowed me to spend as much time as I needed away. So at the start of 2017, I actually moved down to stay with my parents, and I was there until a couple months ago. I moved back here in July, and so that wouldn't have been possible without the support everyone gave for the channel, like patrons, Twitch subs, viewers. So really, thank you all for all of that. But yeah, I don't want to. I don't know how much I'm gonna go into anything again. But yeah, so I do really appreciate all the support with all of that, with the mods, with everything that made the time I was able to spend with my mom possible. But yeah, so I'll be gone again from the 7th to the 13th, and then everything should, I guess, be back to normal. I was talking before about how I was gonna probably be gone for the first week of December, but that's not gonna happen anymore because I'm now moving that trip up to mid-November. But yeah, so thanks again, everyone, for like the whole time when I was staying with my parents, I was thinking that I might need to like reevaluate my career choice when everything was over and settled. But the channel honestly is doing really well. So at least in the short term, I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure it's uh, still continues to grow, and I'm gonna stick with what I'm doing right now. Like I'd never like stop doing it. If I did have to get a different job, it would probably just mean that I do way fewer videos. And but I'd still like I really enjoy doing this, so I'd still find some way to work it in. But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing whatever I can to make a push for growing the channel here on Twitch, finding new ways to thank patrons for their support. But yeah, so the the main difference is just going to be in the next few weeks how there's not going to be many scheduled streams. There'll probably be uh, a few fewer videos, a few less videos, fewer. But after the week of the 13th, so maybe as late as 17th, I might stay for a little bit longer. I haven't bought the tickets yet, so I'm not sure exactly what's going to be going on. But just to warn everyone ahead of time that that's where I'm going to be. But yeah, so at this point, I'm just rambling. So I think I've said most of what I wanted to say. So thanks again, everyone. And I have this camera now. I might use it a bit more, probably more for streaming rather than anything else. But yeah, so that's it. Bye, everyone.